Today we are estate sailing for planty things. Okay, so I wound up not filming any of the shopping that we did yesterday for estate sailing, but estate sailing can be a great way to find gardening stuff for really cheap. So let me show you a few of the things that I got, both garden related and non-gardening related. So some of the things that I picked up are these ball jars. Even managed to get a blue one. These are really good for flower arranging, or at least I really like them. I like this style of putting the bouquets of flowers in this jar. The neck is a nice size for making big bouquets, and I like the blue color. That's cool. This is an insert to an old chest that I picked up. Also got a few milk crates. Never know when you need milk crates. They're super handy, so whenever I see those at estate sales, I always try to get some. Can never have too many of these kinds of extension cords that have the multiple outlets on the end. So I picked up 3 of those. Those were only 75 cents. And then look at these Christmas ornaments that I got. How cute are those? I love the little vintage, older style Christmas ornaments. Those were 25 cents each. Got an X-Acto knife, because never know when you're going to need more of those. I've been accused of not having enough fancy like flatware for holidays and things, so I had to get some of those. And then this is like a little checkers game. Each side has a different color marble in it, or not checkers, tic-tac-toe. So that's a cool like game for in the car for kids. But anyway, that's all I got, plus a rocking chair, which is inside and too big to bring out here. But that was the haul from the estate sale. And estate sales are really good for finding really cool pots. Do not ever buy pots brand new at the store. If you can access estate sales, there are always really good terracotta, glazed, all kinds of pots that you can think of at these estate sales for like 50 cents, $1, whatever. And some of my favorite pots have come from estate sales. With everything except that one came from an estate sale. This one came from an estate sale. That rectangular one, and then that weird jug-shaped one. Those all come from an estate sale. And the great thing about pots from an estate sale is that they already have that weathered look. I like terracotta, but I don't really like terracotta when it looks brand new. So kind of get the best of both worlds in that it was really cheap. This is a really nice pot, and it's one of my favorite pots, and I think I got it for like $2 or something. So pretty good deal. So main thing on the agenda for today is to spread a ton, and I mean like a ton of mulch. I need to mark out another new flower bed with some marking paint, and probably edge that out, and just really kind of get a lot of stuff done this week in preparation for some very cold temperatures later in the week. I think Wednesday we're supposed to be down to like 14 or 15, so getting ready for that right in the middle of the work week is going to take some time to accomplish, so we'll just knock things out and get going. Here is the first project. So here's the first project. We're going to be spreading out all of this mulch that I have, these 3 big piles. It's about 3 yards. I need to place all these rocks where they go around the little bubble or bird bath thing. And I'm also going to relocate that little cauldron thing that you can see over there. I'll show it to you here in a second. But it's just plugged on the bottom and not draining properly. So I want to go ahead and get that out of the way. So let's get going. Okay, we got it all spread. It did take about an hour, almost 2 hours to spread all that out. And I did wind up having too much for this space. I do like to mulch really, really thickly, but even for me, this was a little too much. So some of it wound up over there in that new flower bed that I showed y'all last time. And one thing that I want to point out about mulching in a space like this is that this area is mostly full of plants that are called herbaceous perennials. They're called herbaceous perennials because they die all the way back down to the ground every year and then come up from that point. They're not like shrubs and roses and trees where they will start to produce growth on top of last year's growth, and they have a shape and a form that's important to maintain. For instance, this area is full of Greg's mist flower, which is a blue mist flower, and it creeps into the walkway during the growing season. Here you can see some of it coming up right now. This is it. It has started to come up since the temperatures have gotten warm. It'll get knocked back when we freeze again this week. But as I'm putting mulch down, I'm just kind of like stomping on this new growth and then covering the mulch back up. And this leaf litter stuff, I'm pushing that back into the flower bed also because I want that. I mean, look at how just rich and crumbly this stuff is. I want all that to stay in my flower bed. I don't want to sweep it or blow it out. I'm just gonna like shove it all back in there. Not only that, but there's insects living in there still, and I want them to be fine for the rest of the winter. And what I did with the perennials that were still standing from last year, as I was coming through and mulching, I was just stepping on them, step, and then kind of like throwing the mulch on top of it. It's not going to hurt it at all. There's no new growth that's going to come from these, so I just kind of walk on top of it as I go and put the mulch back on top of the broken stems. One of the great things about mulching on a day like today is not only is it nice and cool, but no active growth is happening in my garden yet. For the most part, nothing important is growing up and taking shape like it will be in March and April. So I can get in there and stomp around and be rough and wheel my cart in there and dump and spread it with a rake and not really worry about messing anything up for the year. So that's kind of nice. That's why I like to mulch this time of year versus in May or June when the temperatures start getting hot and the garden benefits from the mulch. But I have a lot of plants that have already taken their shape for the year and I wind up crushing them on accident. I also figured I could give y'all an update on this lavender that we transplanted not that long ago. You can see that we have some new growth in there. So it transplanted well. I think a dog or a cat like fell on this and crunched it in the middle, but it'll be fine. This lavender stuff. All that we are going to do for the rest of the day is spread this mulch out in this new flower bed that I showed you guys last time. There's the mulberry, there's all that salvia, the magnolia. So this is the new line of the flower bed. Obviously I dug it out a little bit more, put some mulch in there to spread out. I'll just get on my hands and knees and spread that out by hand, and we will probably be done for the day. Need to fill up some bird feeders so the birds have something to eat when it gets really cold this week, and then we'll call it a day. I think that will pretty much do it for us for out here for today. I'm just going to spend the rest of the day picking up tools and stuff from all my projects and organize my plants to get ready for all of these lovely cold temperatures we're supposed to get this week. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.